Well, good morning. It's Monday, October the 12th, and this is Wise Words from Waldo. I was teasing someone the other day about how often I found myself talking to myself. And I told him, of course I talk to myself. Sometimes I need brilliant advice. I'm a very social person. I like to be around people. But I also recognize the importance of quiet, personal time alone. I have the tendency to judge spirituality by how much I can get done. I have to remind myself that our Father calls us to come apart. In Acts chapter 20, Paul and his companions are on his third missionary journey. They're traveling by ship from coastal city to coastal city. In verse 13, Paul sends them on by ship because he wants to walk alone to the next port. One of the most important spiritual principles that I have learned in my life was taught in the Gospels. A number of times it records Jesus leaving the towns to be alone. Every town he left still had people that had needs. Because sometimes you have to give up the important for the necessary. There are many other examples in the Bible. Moses was alone when God spoke to him through the burning bush. And, by the way, nearly all of the instructions that God gave him at Mount Sinai, he was alone. Jacob had his visions when he was alone. Isaiah, he was alone in the temple when God spoke to him. The Virgin Mary, she was alone when the angel brought her news of the coming Messiah. Daniel was alone in the lion's den. And Elijah, he spent many months alone in the wilderness. The Bible records some other times. In Mark chapter 1, the Bible says Jesus rose long before daylight and he went out to a solitary place. In Luke chapter 4, it says, and when morning came, Jesus departed to a desert place. In Luke chapter 5, the Bible says that Jesus withdrew himself into the wilderness. In John chapter 12, it says Jesus departed and he hid himself from them. Yes, there were still people with needs. But if Jesus, the Son of God, needed to be away from humanity at times, how much more do we? If you don't escape humanity occasionally, you won't survive. Not in your ministry, not in your family, or even in your own personal life. Now stop and think about that.